Hi kindergarten, it's Miss B here again, ready to teach you our next lesson about art. Now when I made this video, it was actually last Thursday and I was wearing my legacy shirt. I don't get to see any kids in person on Thursday, so no one gets to see my shirt, so I'm showing it off for you guys. Today's my legacy shirt day. So I hope that you were wearing yours last Thursday and that you were showing your legacy pride. So today we're going to begin to move on to our next lesson. And this lesson is going to be focusing on the art element, okay, because there's elements and principles of art. They're kind of like rules and things that all artists use. And the element that we are going to be using today, well, we're going to be using a couple elements, but the main element is line. Now there's so many different types of lines that you can use. So we are going to be learning the different types of lines, and then we are going to be making a spring tree together using those lines. And then in the second video coming on Wednesday, you will see how do you get to add color to those lines to make those lines even more interesting. All right, so what you'll need for today is a piece of paper, and you will need a pencil. It can be just a regular pencil is fine. And then some kind of black marker. Okay, Miss B has a permanent marker, but not everyone's allowed to use permanent markers, and not everyone has them. So if you don't have a permanent marker, that's fine. Just find another kind of black marker that you have, or you can even use a black pen. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so what I have here is my plain paper ready to make my art project. But over here I have a paper that shows all the different kinds of lines. Now there are lots of different lines that Miss B did not put in here. Okay, so if you come up with your own lines, you can certainly add your own lines. Okay, some of the important lines to remember though are just skinny lines, skinny straight lines, bold straight lines. That means that they're thick and they're very dark. Zigzag lines. I did polka dot lines, so a dotted line. I did a swirly line. And this one, Miss B sees, it's another zigzag. But what I could do is I could turn that into a double zigzag line. Okay, double zigzag means that I just go over it a different way with a zigzag. This line here is a little bit of a hard line that Miss B just kind of made up her own. I call it the heart line because what it is it's two hearts, one going up, one going down, one going up, and then I repeat that over and over and over as I go down. The next line below that is a shape line. So it's a line made all up of shapes. So I did a pattern of square, triangle, circle, triangle, square, circle. And then it would repeat and repeat and repeat. I have here a dashed line. A dashed line is different than a dotted line because the dotted line are made of circles. A dash is more of a short line. These ones are very short dashes. These ones are longer dashed lines. So those are just some examples of lines that you can use during this project, but you can come up with your own lines if you get creative and you find that you want to try some different ones. Okay, so those are the different lines. I'm going to keep it right next to me here so I can see, but I'm going to get started with doing our spring tree. Now we know that every tree has a trunk, so that's what we're going to draw together first. Okay, now we're going to start at the bottom of our paper here. Okay, and we're going to be making two lines to be our starting and finishing lines, or even just our starting lines for our trunk. Okay, so I'm going to make, it can be skinny or you can make it wide. That is your choice. I'm going to make one line here and the other line right here. Okay, now I did those two lines just to show me where I want my tree trunk to start. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a diagonal line coming up to the middle of my paper. And then I'm going to copy that and do that from my other mark that I made. Okay, so when you see that, it's starting to look like the trunk of a tree coming off of the bottom of our paper towards the middle. Now, as we go up, we are going to be moving these lines out to create branches of our tree. Now, I'm gonna have my branches go all the way off the top and the sides of my paper, just like this. Okay, I have this line. I'm gonna curve it off the page. Now, branches aren't just made of one line, they're made of two lines, so I want to go again over that. Okay, so Miss B is going to zoom through making her branches here for you, but you can take your time. So I finished here drawing my tree outline. Okay, now you'll see that I made some of my branches go behind other branches, or I made some look like they're going in front of other branches, and I even gave them lots of branches coming off of each other. You can make your tree with as many branches as you like, or you can have few branches, okay? They don't need to be a lot or a little. It's all up to you how many branches you want in your tree. All right, now that we have our tree, let's move on to our next step. Okay, we are gonna be now taking that black marker that I said you'll need. If it's a permanent one, make sure you have another piece of paper underneath so that you don't go through onto your table, okay? And we are going to outline our tree using our black marker. Follow all of the lines that you made until they're all covered in black line. All right, so you will see that we mostly used thin or narrow black lines that are straight, and sometimes Miss B curved her lines. So those are the kinds of lines that we've used so far. Now, we are gonna make this a spring tree. Now in the spring, the trees don't just all of a sudden have lots of leaves, right? The leaves have to grow from something. So the leaves grow from a little bud, okay? The little bud are the little tiny baby leaves or baby flowers on a tree that are gonna be ready to bloom. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna get to use a line to create those little buds. Now this kind of line is a little bit different than the lines that you've seen on Miss B's example here. This line is gonna be a small version of a swirly line. Okay, now we see this shape a lot when you see a snail shell, or sometimes you'll see this shape on a seashell, okay? But it is a spiral, and we're gonna be making them actually quite small, okay? Kind of like this. Now, I know you can't see that too well there, but a little tiny swirl, those are gonna be our buds. Okay, now you can make them as big or as small as you would like for your tree. And you can use your black marker, or you can start with your pencil again. Miss B's just gonna go ahead and do it with her black marker. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put those swirls all around my tree, making it look like it's got little buds coming, ready for the spring leaves or spring flowers. Okay, so I have all of my buds all drawn out. See how they're little versions of the spirals? I had some of them that were really small and some of them got a little bit bigger, but we don't want to put any buds on the bottom of our tree trunk because usually buds only grow on the younger branches, okay, of a tree. So this is a step that you are going to have to complete before you see the next video. Okay, so that is our first step to doing our spring trees using different types of lines. Okay, so our second video is going to be how do we add all those lines into our tree, and then how do we find color with those. All right, so I hope you guys had a fun time getting to create your spring trees, and I can't wait to see you on Wednesday. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.